Hello and welcome to this week's run through our indicators at Beyond. So before I begin, I'm just going to read through this brief disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's get straight to it this week with our indicators. So we've had a lot of things going on since we last spoke. And I think today would be a great time to discuss what's come to pass, and then we'll see how our indicators are currently stacking up. So if you go to the dashboard on Beyond, we'll quickly have a look at Beyond Challenger. As you know, with Beyond Challenger, it's obviously an indicator that focuses on reversal signals in the market. And at the start of the week, we basically got a great buy signal for Bitcoin, and that's come to pass. We're counting up, and as you know, once we get to around about 100, then normally after 9 or so days of upside, then we may see a reversal. So that probably means that we've got around 3 or 4 days of upside left in Bitcoin, and the 8-hour time frame is currently issuing a warning. However, the 1 week time frame is looking much more healthy and is kind of indicating that we could probably see a good 6 more weeks of upside in the market before we start to get a reversal sign. So that all bodes well for Bitcoin. And I want to have a look at Vanguard. There's a few really interesting things going on at Vanguard at the moment. So as you can see, all these time frames are starting to turn in a more positive manner. So the 3-day, we haven't had a 3-day buy signal in a number of weeks, and we've obviously got one. And the weekly time frame, according to our 2.0 model on TradingView, has already turned green. Obviously, we need to see the weekly price close before we get the 1.0 model confirmation. But the exciting thing is that once we get this green candle confirmation, obviously we're going to be closing. Because it's lagging, it's not tracking the current price close. But once we get the current price close, it's extremely likely to be green. And the great thing about that is once we start to get the green candles, they tend to be followed by other green candles, which means we've got multiple weeks of upside according to Vanguard if we close in the green this week, which we certainly looks like we're going to. If we have a look at our other flange ship indicator, and that's Beyond Atlas, and there's some very interesting things going on with Beyond Atlas. It's been dropping for a number of days, as you may or may not know. Atlas is an inverse price indicator, so we want Atlas to be following the actual direction of Bitcoin. If we want to have some type of conviction behind it, we need to see that Atlas is dropping. Therefore, if the price is dropping and moving towards the green zone, that gives us our high conviction buy trade, and we know that momentum and money flow is behind that. So a dynamic that we've been seeing recently over the last few months is that Atlas has been making high highs, hence why we've had this bearish price action in Bitcoin, and we haven't been able to break above the 124 level. Currently, we're seeing this kind of double top pattern formation, and Atlas has been dropping very quickly. It's almost shed around about 50 points over the last couple of days, and the steepness of the downturn is very encouraging. And I think, the broader point here is that if we can make a new low, we'll start making lower lows on Atlas, and that will be great confirmation for further downside in Atlas. And obviously, if we're getting further downside in Atlas, that means more upside in Bitcoin over the coming days, which is exactly what we want to see. And as I've said earlier, when we move into the green zone, normally in this stage of the bull cycle, it just turbocharges the move higher in Bitcoin. You can see every time we start to move inside that green zone, typically it says that we get explosive moves higher. So just the fact that we're tracking down is good enough at the moment. And I think finally, something else that I did want to draw your attention to is the long v short ratio. So currently, retail traders have got a wholesale bearish bias at the moment. So all the while they're negative, that means the retail money is considered the not smart money. So that means that the upside can accelerate. So we've got a wholesale bearish bias here by some margin at the moment, and that really means that Bitcoin could just explode to the upside all the while that is happening. So over the coming days, I think we've got a number of exciting events. Obviously, Vanguard turning green on the weekly, Atlas turning down, and it'll be good to see in the next couple of days maybe some pullback on maybe some type of healthy correction if we get this daily sell signal in Challenger. But do bear in mind the trend is very strong, and even on something like the daily time frames, the pullback may be minimal going ahead. So I hope you enjoyed it this week, and obviously bear in mind that we do have analysis on Atlas and Vanguard for many other cryptocurrencies, and you can check them out on our website. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again next week.